new on Curiosity Stream.
I'm James Burke. I'm going to take you on a journey through time.
James Burke's visionary series returns, reimagined for our time.
Now, this is all uncharted territory.
The Washington Post hails Burke as one of the most intriguing minds in the Western world. The New York Times raves he careens from one great moment in history to another.
Where do we want to go from here?
Experience all new Connections.
So what's the next connection?
With monthly, annual, and bundled plans, find the one that works for you at CuriosityStream.com.
J360 Radio.
Hello, J360 Legion, and welcome to the J360 Mini Bites here on J360 Radio, hosted by J.M. Brady. I am your host, J.M. Brady. Let's get into it. Hey, what's going on, guys? How's it going? New week, right? A bit strange, I see. Yeah, for those of you that are wondering, this usually happens on Tuesday, but we're doing the alt schedule this week because I wanted to do some R&D. And the reason why I'm late for a little bit is because, okay, so the news is out that Herschel Walker lost, right? Right. And I'm going to tell you this, looking at his whole campaign was hilarious. Hilariously sad, and also, what in the hell is this? You know what I mean? He's a good example of a real life African-American male from Get Out, if you think about it. And I'm looking at this, and I'm like, wow. People were talking about Kanye, but let me just be honest with you. Y'all should have been paying attention to Herschel Walker, because, that fool managed to get, how much? 49% or something like that of the votes? I mean, it's bad enough you got to deal with Marjorie Taylor Greene, let alone this guy. I was like, oh no. So, and then Raphael Warnock ended up winning. I mean, he's got some dirt with him too, but, what politician doesn't? I just look at this stuff because, like I said before, no matter how good I am at comedy, that right there, politics in general, is the biggest comedy show walking. That's all I got to say. I mean, just think about it sometime. Just take a look at all the old clips, because, all that stuff, that's him. So, I was sitting back laughing at those, in addition to setting up for the mini bites tonight. But we have some things to discuss, so... yeah, I went ahead and worked on some overdue projects this week, such as J360productions.com. All of the shows from the Monster Fest on up are there. The only thing that's remaining is Soda, which, by the way, shout outs to all my State of the Art fans out there, aka the Soda Heads. What's up with y'all? Y'all are the wildest fans next to the J360 Legion. Hell, some of you are J360 Legion fans. Insane. And I just love the way you guys are just enjoying this series grow. Each and every single one of the shows are accounted for. It's just all about giving them all their spot, getting them locked in. I think even some of the old Cyclone episodes have made it. If not, don't you worry. I got that covered. Which, by the way, if Alan's listening, and I know he is, hey, man, we got to go ahead and give them something for the Cyclone. If we didn't give you guys the season, which we didn't because we were all pretty busy, we do have a way of working that out. And I'm going to go ahead and discuss the plans with him in secret, so... stay tuned. Speaking of which, Hangouts should be coming along. I'm thinking about making that something for Fridays like it used to be, as it was with alternating with jams. Just like the old days. So I guess if there wasn't a jams episode on Friday, chances are it would probably be a Hangouts episode. So, just working on all of that right now. But all I can say is just keep an eye on things. And it's still a J360 TV presentation. The Facebook page, those of you that went over there and liked it and followed it, thank you. Really appreciate you for doing that while I'm working on J360productions.com. It's a good way for you to get your fix. And not to mention, some of the J360production.com postings, they do land over there at the Facebook page. Just letting you know, because I had to go ahead and figure out how that was, why it didn't work for the longest time. And it's because it deactivated itself due to the updates that it was getting. And I was like, how in the hell? But once again, that's something that's out of my hands. So I went ahead and I reworked it. Hopefully, when they do something over at WordPress, it won't be such a big deal this time around. So everything should be connected. And those of you on Twitter, you know what I mean? You get the same news and stuff like that. So it should be circulating like it's supposed to. Syndication, baby. And speaking of syndication, the syndication map has gotten bigger. That is a project that is always going to be worked on. So, stand by for many, many updates to that. I'm going to go ahead and slam that in, at least by, I hope, Friday this week. So, that's something for you guys to pay attention to. It should be on its own page, so every time if like it needs an update or it's been updated, I'll always like put something up that said, hey, syndication page has been updated, this is a new channel, the shows are over here, and you know, it just all lines up. Those of you on the SoundCloud circuit, in case you haven't realized, the J360 Radio on the SoundCloud is active again. So, yeah. I've been doing all that stuff, guys. I've been following the digital footprint I've been leaving, and let me just tell you something. It's pretty damn big. It's pretty much like the eighth sea, if you think about it. So we're just making all that stuff, like, lock in, and everything's coming in play pretty good. So, you know, for those of you, like, whatever's convenient for you and whatever you like to listen to J360 Radio on, chances are, you know, I got you. See what I'm saying? Oh, speaking of J360 Radio, those that have been wondering, no, I'm not leaving Spreaker. Nope. We are staying on Spreaker a little bit longer. One, because there's a package over here that I actually want to look into. And then not to mention, like, the alternative radio station was something I built in the past just in case I didn't want to use Spreaker anymore. And speaking of which, it's called Station Head. And it wasn't too bad. It was just that the interface... You know, I didn't see eye to eye with the interface, and not to mention, like, it could have used a little bit more Spotify controls on it. Like, the thing is, it works with Spotify, but also, not only am I, you know, spinning the tracks on Spotify, you also need to have Spotify Premium in order to hear the tracks. Otherwise, you're just hearing me talk to you, which, you know, kind of just defeats the point of jams. And another thing is, it's like... it kind of gets in the way because there's really no post game. Now, I'm going to tell you why that is, because, see, I like it when you guys can go ahead and access the show, download the show at your convenience. And, you know, that helps me out, too. And not to mention, like, it works for you guys, because some of you guys can't make it to the live shows, and I totally understand it. Different time zone, or you're wrapped up in something, like, sometimes I get wrapped up in something. It's just the way it is, and that's the thing about Spreaker. Like, we go from radio show to podcast, and, like, that's the way it works. You know, it's beautiful. And then not to mention all the distribution. So, it's like, yeah, there's something good here. But at the same time, though, like, you know, it was nice to go ahead and do something out of the comfort zone and take a look at, like, what, you know, reason why younger J-Man made that thing so current J-Man can actually thrive. So that was actually pretty cool. You know what I mean? So, yeah, looking at that kind of stuff. I made it for a reason, you know? And see, like, a lot of that stuff that has, like, the J360 Productions name and all that stuff on it, it's like, well, you know, technically we own it, so let's use that thing. So it's kind of like looking over at the Facebook page for like what it can do and all that kind of stuff. So if anything, R&D was firing up all the alternatives that way. So, you know, stuff happens and then, you know, the show must go on. Things like that. You got to play it smart. And speaking of which, because I'm notorious for that a little bit, I'm sure it's a lot further than even I'm explaining to you on this show right now. So, it's little things like that. Oh, and speaking of which, since we're streamlining the operation a little bit, some shows won't be live and some shows will be, you know, post-dated. So, let's just say, like, you know, like, because there's so many shows and projects floating around here, you know, we're going to simplify things. And you'll know which ones. I'll just keep you posted. You'll figure it out. Just stay, you know, how can I say, just stay aware, if you will, you know. And like I said, you'll still get the same experience. It's just that, you know, we're building things up, but we're also making it easier. See what I'm saying? And then not to mention, like, as I got to work with people and stuff nowadays, it's like, oh, okay. You know? Even though I'm still going to be the same rapscallion I always am. I'm just kidding. But yes, I'm loving the way how things are progressing. Oh, and speaking of which, though, like I said, it's just the alternative schedule this week. Next week, we'll be back on the regular schedule. And speaking of next week, let's go ahead and do the Jams announcement right now. Jams 59 is happening on Friday next week. All right? So that means don't wait for the art right now. This is your official announcement. Technically, your official announcement was last time with 58, but let's remind you, it's 59 coming up soon. So if you got or want to submit your 2 tracks, please email me at j360productions@outlook.com. If you ever have any questions about the shows or like what's happening, what's on the docket, just go ahead and email me. You know what I mean? Like it's totally okay. You're supposed to do that. It's kind of like when I'm doing R&D like these things and you guys are seeing it. it's perfectly okay to tell me whether it works or not. That really helps. You know what I mean? And not only that, you're the Legion. That's the way it works. The king must hear from his people. And, it just, it balances everything out. So that's the way that goes. Speaking of which, for those that are wondering, no, we're not changing the timeline of things. It's still around 10 p.m. Eastern here. And then, when I go where I need to go, it'll be around 7 p.m. at that time. So it's just little things like that. You just pay attention and stay in the know. A lot of the stuff that's here on Mini Bytes anyway lets you know what's going on company wide, which is why I designed it. So you ever wonder why you don't have a newsletter? The Mini Bytes are your newsletter. Okay, now let's take a look at our schedule here. So you got the Mini Bytes happening right now. You got the J-Man show happening tomorrow at 10. Friday is still up in the air, but it might be a Hangouts episode or it might be an R&D special. You're just going to have to pay attention. And if it is a Hangouts, I want to say this. Pay attention to the YouTube, pay attention to the Facebook, and pay attention to Twitch. Speaking of which, those asking me about Twitch, yes, the Power Play is on Twitch, and then chances are it's going over to YouTube. We might do co-streaming. We don't know. We're just going to have to pay attention, okay? Now, that seems to be the moral of this endeavor right now. But all in all, though, everything happens at 10. Speaking of which, though, there are going to be moments where I'm messing around on Twitch, so yeah, you might get some moments where I'm bringing back casual BS for a little bit, and I'm just either trying to catch another fat base or something like that. Or no, not fat base. That would be nice, though. I'm looking at bases, but let's just say this. I might try to catch another fat bass or whatever, or I'm trying to go ahead and finish Shenmue. Any games that are too long for the Power Play itself, casual BS. So you just pay attention to all that kind of stuff. And then I really want to start doing the Power Play Showdown series. And then for those of you that don't know about this, there's exclusive stuff going over to j360productions.com. So you just have to stay tuned for all that. Oh, by the way, albums of the year. Let's see about some considerations. So I actually went back through a few Jams episodes, and there are a total of at least 5 right now. It will be a total of 10. So you're just going to have to, once again, wait until when we start doing year's end. That final week of the month, you're going to see certain things like albums of the year. Let's see. The best of J-Man's bloopers, I guess. You might see those. I don't know. It's just that kind of stuff would be funny as hell, though. But we'll have to see what happens. But I do know Album of the Year is one, and I do know that there is a final showcase. And guess what? It's a mega mix that ends up everything. So yes, you do have a Jams mega mix happening on that week, which is episode 60, of course. And for those that don't know what a mega mix is, a mega mix usually is over 56 tracks. Usually. That's a mega mix. Whew. And those things are heavy hitters, man. That's why I'm you know what? I hope the internet's good that day because we're going to ride it out. Simple as that. But yeah, those that haven't experienced it, you will see it soon enough. They're fun to make. Don't get me wrong. It's just whew. Jams is already a 3-hour show, baby. We might break the grid with that one. But all in all, though, I think it'll be pretty interesting to see. For those of you out there that are enjoying your Christmas and all that stuff, as you should. Did you put your tree up yet? Yeah, I still got to put mine up. Matter of fact, I'm going to use the little one this time because ain't no point in having a big one if you ain't going to be here next year. You know what I mean? So I'm I'll go for the little one. It'd be a nice little red tree, you know what I'm saying? But when I'm in my own spot over in the other area, yeah, it's going to be a huge red Christmas tree at that one. Hey, I love red. What do you expect? So it's little things like that. But, yeah, all in all, we still got a bunch of Christmas specials coming up soon enough in this week. I remember when I told you it was going to be a kind of open-ended because things can be a little bit crazy during holiday time. So, yeah, just stay tuned on this one, all right? So, lots of things to look forward to. But yeah, we're going to end this whole year with a bang, and I'm looking forward to seeing whether you guys enjoy it, and not to mention, we're just going to have a hell of a lot of fun, okay? But all in all, though, I'm going to go ahead and get off this thing, because I got to go ahead and lock in and get my training in, and not to mention, this Herschel Walker clip is hilarious. And not only that, I'm working on my language a bit. So, yes. Anyway, you guys take care of yourselves, and I will catch you tomorrow on the J-Man Show. well, that's just the way that's going to be. So, actually, no. Let me see. Work on my language on the J-Man show. That'd be funny. For those of you that think I can't do a J-Man show clean, yeah, stay till tomorrow. See what happens. All right? Other than that, though, I got to get up out of here. So, this is J-Man signing off. Peace.
It's important to properly dispose of unwanted medication or sharps. MedProject offers free and convenient disposal options near you. To learn more, call 844-MED-PROJECT or visit medproject.org.